Anything new with the quarterbacks today, Mike?
No, it's the same. Both of them are doing really well. If we were to play this week, we'd play both guys.
How do you split that? I mean,
Don't know. We don't have to make that decision until next week. The discussion's taking place, but we're not sure yet. We're still evaluating and trying to do what's best.
Just for grins, are you a hot hand guy? Keep a hot hand in there, or are you more of an organizational guy? Two series.
Not sure. That discussion took place also. It's almost like you had us bugged. You're like the Russians. Collusion.
What is Calvin Bundage's status? I know he had a bit of a back strain. Will he be healthy and ready to go?
He's released and can start practicing.
Okay. Do you expect him to start in the first game?
Oh, that I don't know. I expect him to get out there and get some action if all goes as planned. But whether he'll start based on missing what he's missed, I couldn't answer that right now.
Looking at the linebackers, you also have Kevin Henry. How has he grown, and what do you expect him? What kind of impact?
Kevin's doing good. You know, he played in the bowl game the majority of the time. He got a lot of really good experience. When Calvin couldn't play, it was a concern for us because Kevin didn't have a lot of experience in key moments, but kind of like Chew, Kevin got in there and got to play and got a taste of it, so he's a guy that we trust.
How healthy are you guys right now?
We're pretty healthy. We've been very fortunate this time.
I'm not saying anybody has said anything they're not supposed to, but the things I heard were the first scrimmage kind of leaned a little bit to the offense. It's going to lean one way or the other. The second one, Sunday, which was, I guess, a half and half, maybe a little toward the defense. At the end of fall camp, you feel like both sides have some things to feel good about and maybe also some things to brush up on?
I think both sides have had success, and both sides have gotten considerably better in the last week. You know, we're getting close to let's go play a game and see where we're at. Some of the guys that have never played, we'll see how they react. That's the exciting part of what we do. The issue you have as a head coach is you worry at night about what they'll actually do. But that's a pretty accurate assessment. It's been pretty evenly matched over the last 2 weeks.
Tyler Lacey, a guy that falls into that category of curious and excited and want to know what.
Last year, Tyler was kind of lazy and big guys redshirting, and he's done better this year. He's competing, playing hard. I would expect him to make some plays, and I expect him to get waxed quite a bit too. I mean, he just when you're down in there where they play and you're young and you haven't played, you're going to get knocked down. You got to get back up and make plays. But he does have ability, and he does have a bright future.
You start working scouts now. What are your thoughts, cursory, on Oregon State? And I know your staff's looked at them all summer.
Oregon State scored a lot of points last year. I don't know that people realize that they had success on offense. They're going to play at the tight end or two, unbalanced, and do some different things. They want to run the football. Their quarterback's back's been around for a long time, so he's experienced. It gives them a little bit of leeway in that position. Defensively, they're going to play 3 down and 4 down. A lot of there are some similarities to what we did early in the year, a year ago, defensively. However you look at it, they may feel differently. They might play different, might play press, might play off, don't have any ideas the first game. And they've become more athletic. They've got a couple guys that have moved in or transferred in at the backer position that supposedly are helping them out some. So it'll be a dogfight. You know, it'll be. We'll have our hands full, but we're looking forward to playing.
Coach, you've been wearing that win with discipline. Cheryl, can you explain some of the aspects you want to see your team with discipline?
I do. Just so you know, I have 6 different ones, and I actually wash them in between. Somebody didn't get the wrong opinion there, but we had too many penalties last year. We had too many missed assignments last year, and we took ourselves out of games. You know, I've said that since February. So when you look back at it, I didn't do a good job of making sure that we coached disciplined football in practice, and in turn, that's the results we got in games. So we've tried to do better. I feel like we're a much more disciplined team than we were in the bowl game. We'll see. We'll find out where we're at. But if it can only help us if we play disciplined football and don't give them free yards.
So you've seen some results in practice from what you want to see discipline-wise?
I know that if they did anything that we didn't like, we ran them, and we've run a lot this camp. So from that standpoint, It's almost like training your kid at home. At least he's been disciplined. So from that, we know that they understand right from wrong.
How much work does Coach Gleason still have to do with the two quarterbacks that are battling with one
A
another?
lot. The guys haven't played for Oklahoma State. Drew's got 25 games of experience at this level, so from a mental standpoint, not as much with him. Spencer's just learning, feeling his way through. So he's got a lot of work. It takes guys a little while to learn our system and play. So hopefully both of them can play better than what they should play early in their career without having the experience at this school. That's what we're hoping for.
Across the country, it looks like a lot of programs have not named their starting quarterback. Do you think that adds advantage to you guys going up to Oregon State, a team that you don't play obviously normally, and not having?
I got asked that question a week ago. I doubt that it really affects them. If we had a pure running quarterback compared to a pocket passer, there could be some advantage to them knowing. I'm guessing they're going to prepare for the plays we've run on video last year, the last 5 games of the year. That's what would be my guess. So I don't think that it does much for them. We're certainly not holding that back for that reason. But there's been a lot of teams named quarterbacks just recently. I just saw today. I have our media people put stuff on my desk that they think I want to read, and I know several schools across the country have named. School started, so guys will start to name their quarterbacks now.
What area needs most improvement on the offense right now?
I think we're doing a good job up front. Our missed assignments are fewer than we've ever had. Quarterbacks are coming along. Nobody will know what we're going to get there till the game. Running backs are doing fine. The guys at wideout, we've got the 6'6" crew at the X receiver. We don't know what we're going to get there because none of those guys have played. So I feel pretty comfortable with where we're at. Comfortable with our kicking, punting game. Defensively, secondary is somewhat experienced. The guys have been there and played. Youthful at linebacker, so that the linebacker will be a lot like the quarterback position. We'll see. And then defensive line, we've got a number of guys that should give us reps. They haven't played much either, but we'll find out.
Going off of what you just said, does this mean that we're not going to name a starter until we suit up and get on the field against Oregon State?
At quarterback, I wouldn't say that. I don't know for sure. If I knew, I'd tell you. Maybe somebody takes the thing over in the next 3 practices and makes it really clear cut. Both guys now are playing well enough for us to win, in my opinion. But, and I've said this, I'll say it again, until one of them clearly says or shows that he's better than the other, both guys deserve to play.
Speaking of that defensive line, what have you seen from them coming out of fall camp with all that inexperience that they have?
Just what I said. They're all improving. They're all getting better. They're all learning. They get waxed a few times. They got to get up and make a play. I like their pad level. Seem to be using their hands better. I think they're going to play hard. We have to be patient with them. Young guys that don't have any experience, got to be patient with them. They're going to make mistakes. You got to correct them. They need to play hard. That's what they need to do. Not worry about anything else. Just play hard.
Israel's obviously one of the youngest guys, but has probably the most experience. How has he looked compared to those other guys who maybe are a few years older than him?
Well, he looks different. He had 343 snaps last year in the Pac-12, so he looks completely different than the other guys because he gets it. He's been in there. He has a feel for the game different than the other guys just based on experience.
Has anybody else started to break away from that pack? Last week you said about 6 or 7 guys rotating in.
Not really. Honestly, they rotate in so much I can't keep up with who's in. Yeah.
You mentioned not knowing what you're going to get out of your quarterback, some game situations, single linebacker, defensive line, new offensive coordinator. Does that uncertainty, I'm sure every time you guys step on the field, there's reason for the head coach to be concerned. Does that uncertainty sort of add to your heightened sense of this Oregon State game?
Oh, yes. It's always easy to prepare for openers when you have a lot of experienced players. Just we think we have a good feel for what should happen and what they should do, but you never know. And that's just always been that way. So does it affect your sleep at night? Sure it does. But there's also a level of excitement. I've done this long enough now. I kind of enjoy it. I just want to see what they're going to do. we need 3 or 4 more really good practices, and I want to watch him play. I'm excited about watching him play. But everything you said is correct. That's one of the reasons that one of the things that keeps us up at night, just based on, because they have worked hard. I've been proud of them. This has been a difficult camp, and so I want them to do good. But we'll see.
The fact you're playing on the road, I know you've played openers on the road before. That's not something that you've not done before. But to have a team with some question marks to go on the road, how does that play? And do you have to talk to your guys about that as well?
You got to play hard. They're going to make mistakes. On average, they're going to make a mistake about 18% of the time. Some young guys maybe a little more than that. Got to play hard. You got to get it off your mind. You got to go make another play. Can't worry about making a mistake. That's the one thing that won't work to our favor playing on the road, is worrying about a mistake you just made instead of just go play another play. There's going to be about 230 plays in the game. Now, probably not that many in this game. 160, probably 210, somewhere like that. So there's going to be mistakes made. If you make one, just let's go roll and let's go make another play.
How do you like playing in an area that you're not going to be dealing with the humidity, where your boys are dealing with this heat, the way we've been, to an area that's not going to have much humidity?
Yeah, it's interesting. They in the middle of August through September, they average 1.3 inches of rain during that time. I would have thought a lot more. We average more than that here, and their average temperature is about 90. Now in the evening it gets down cooler. It jumps into low 70s, and the humidity is 20-30% lower than here. So our guys should feel good. Should be refreshing to him. I think we have a 7:30 kick, which is 9:30 here. Good thing college kids stay up late, so that ought to be beneficial for us.
You mentioned that 18%. Where did you come up with that?
I just made it up just to throw it out and make it sound good, like I knew what I was talking. That's just we do all those internal studies, and players that have a little bit of experience will fail 2 out of 10 times. The guys that are veterans will grade higher. They'll be up around 85 to 90%. And then guys that are playing that get a little timid and worry about mistakes, they can fail, 4 or 5 times every 10 plays.
How much does that variance in percentage factor into your decisions on playing time and certain schemes?
They all factor in. It's based on your depth. It's based on who you think gives you the best chance to win this particular game. It's all that matters, is this game. And so at all the positions we're trying to decide who we want to play, it's who we think give us the best chance to be successful and win this particular game, not anything else. We'll worry about the next game the next week.
Is it fair to say that whoever starts a quarterback in week 1 could not be starting week 2?
I mean, I guess anything could happen. And I think sometimes people lose sight of that. We have to concern ourselves with this game and worry about that next one on Sunday. So that's what our approach is at this time.
Like going to a place like Oregon State, you guys don't.
How come you're not sweating? I mean,
Because I'm not wearing
oh, dang. Okay, go ahead.
pants and all
Yeah.
this stuff. A place like Oregon State, you don't usually go. A guy that doesn't get talked about a lot, but Mac Butler, being a guy who's done this for a long time, what role does he have to get you guys there back and
Mac's the
somewhere where
best.
you've not been?
Yeah, Mac is he's the best in the business, and you ask around the country. He's tried to retire the last few years. We've talked him out of it. That planning is so important. We're losing two hours on a time zone, and so we have to leave earlier on the day before the game to try to get there, get everybody acclimated. Hydration's a problem. The flight's 3 hours and 27 minutes, so that's an issue. So food, hydration, try to get on a schedule, and then try to go to bed there when they would be somewhat structured in bed here. And then when you wake up there, it's 2 hours earlier here. So you got to balance all that: meals, the planning, bed checks, travel, buses. See, we have to fly into Eugene. It's the only place we can fly into. Portland's an hour and 49 minutes away. It's too far away. And so there's issues like flying home. We can't fly. We got to land in Salt Lake City because we can't put enough fuel in the plane because the runway's not long enough taking off. So we're looking at about a 7 a.m. arrival coming back. So Mac Butler's in charge of all that. He's got to know all that,
You talk about the fact that he's the best. You left here for a while. You got him back. What was that conversation like to try to bring him back?
He had a lot of years with Oklahoma Teachers Retirement, and he went with Les and was loyal to Les. And then his family, a lot of his family's here. And so I felt like he wanted to come back, and it was good for him. He's going to add to his retirement, and he has a lot of family here, and he could relocate and get back closer to people that he's close to.
Is my assessment of him as part cruise director, part drill sergeant? There's some accuracy.
Yeah, because
in
he's a
that?
coach, right? He coached forever, so he still has a little of that in him. He likes to get up and talk in front of the team. He likes to make statements and announcements and stuff, but he's ultra organized. I would not want to do his job. There's so much. You know, you talk about a good story to write, like you write some stories sometimes on different things. If you have him show you what all his checklist is, just to go on one road trip, it's unbelievable what he has to do to make sure that everything's right.
I just had one final question.
Go ahead.
Regarding the win the discipline. Was this a slogan that you came up with and you pitched it to them?
No, I mean, I just did it. I mean, this is my deal. The design's not, but that's just something I believed in and felt like that I was deficient, so I want to make sure we did the best we could to try not be deficient again as a team. That's why we came with it.
So you just come up with it, send it off, and say, this is what we're going to do this year for our shirts?
Yeah, Justin does it in equipment. I mean, I just said we need to get it done. You know, they see it all the time, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's studies out there, if you kids that see things all the time, they remember those things in their brain a lot more than what teacher actually teaching them if they see things, because visual learning is pretty important. So that's just where we got up.
Is there going to be other slogans down the line?
Not this year. We got to win with discipline.